The Galaxy Note 10 Plus has proven to be an excellent phone, but just like every other phone out there, this one is not perfect. So we're going to be taking a look at 5 great and 5 not so great things about the Note 10 Plus. Now let's get the obvious out of the way. We're talking about the display. This is probably the best display on a smartphone as of right now. It's big, it's bright, it's crisp and colorful, and it's just a pleasure to look at and use. Sure, it doesn't have a 90Hz refresh rate, and a good amount of people out there dislike its curves, but regardless, it is without question one of, if not the best panel on a phone for consuming media and getting stuff done. Next, we're talking performance. Loaded with a Snapdragon 855 and either 8 or 12 gigabytes of RAM, the Note 10 Plus is very fast and very powerful. Those specs, along with Samsung's software refinements, make for a swift and strong user experience, unhindered by lag, stutters, or anything like that. In my experience, this phone has been absolute butter, and it's shown that it's quite the monster both on paper and in real-world use. Now, what is great performance without great battery life? Well, I'm happy to say that the Note 10 Plus has excellent battery life. With all of that power and such a big, bright display, I guess it'd be unsurprising if the Note didn't have great battery life, but its 4300 mAh battery is strong, and it provides more than enough juice to get you through the day. With heavy use, you can expect to get anywhere from 7 to 8 hours of screen on time, and even more with lighter, more moderate use. It's good stuff. Next, we're talking cameras. The Note 10 Plus's cameras are very familiar, as they're pretty much what we got with the S10 Plus, but either way, they're undoubtedly some of the best cameras you'll find in a smartphone, and you could argue they provide the best all-around experience as well. From the versatile camera setup, very solid and steady video capture, to the wide selection of features and control you get. There's something in here for everyone, and the results that you get are great, which makes it one of the phone's best features hands down. Now, this wouldn't be a Note video without mentioning the S Pen, which of course is automatically one of the phone's best features. I'm sure by now we all know what the stylus is all about and what it's capable of doing, but it's so nice to have, and it opens up so many cool things that you can do. Things that other phones just don't have. It does have its gimmicks, that's for sure, but once you discover all the things that it can do, it shows that it can be a very useful companion to this phone. Just wanted to take a quick second to thank the sponsor of today's video, dbrand. They make awesome skins for your tech, and I personally enjoy using them to give my tech a different, refreshing look, texture, and to even protect my devices from things like scratches. Dbrand's been supporting the channel for a long time, so go ahead and check them out using the very first link in the description. Moving on to the not so great things, we have to mention the lack of a headphone jack. Now, I understand we're moving towards a wireless future, and I know a lot of you are already there. I'll admit I use wireless accessories way more often than wired ones. However, I do enjoy having the option to be able to use wired accessories for those times when I could actually genuinely use them. The S10 series came with headphone jacks earlier this year, so it makes little sense to me why Samsung didn't just close out 2019 with both of their flagships rocking one. I feel it really takes away from the whole Swiss Army knife aspect of the phone. Next up is the fingerprint scanner. Now, the ultrasonic technology is neat, and I'll admit, in my experience, the scanner has not been horrible, but it hasn't been phenomenal either. It hits more than it misses, but it's not as consistent as I believe it should or could be, as a lot of other users have had way worse luck than I have, and it is definitely not my primary form of unlocking my phone. Now, this is a light one, but it's still worth mentioning. The Note 10's cameras have downsides as well. Telephoto and low light capabilities could use some work, as inconsistencies are apparent with things like overexposure and loss of color. There's also the unfortunate lack of stabilization when recording in 4K at 60 frames per second. Like I said, these are little things, and the Note 10's cameras are still top 2, top 3 depending on who you are, but they could still use some improvement. While Samsung has made some huge improvements to their software with One UI, Android updates are still quite a heavy weakness for them. Question marks are flying around, as we still don't know when we can expect to get the Android 10 update for the Note 10 and even the S10 for that matter. We do know that they've been tested with the Android 10, so that's a good sign, but it's still not enough, and once again, it doesn't look like the Note will get Android 10 until spring or so. It's pretty sad. Last but most certainly not least, we have to talk about the price. The Note 10 Plus may be the best all-around option out there with all of its features, its loaded spec sheet, and all of that stuff, but with a starting price of $1,100, It makes buying one a pretty tough pill to swallow. Luckily, with Samsung devices, prices don't always stay all the way up there, and you can often find deals, and even Samsung will let you trade in a device to slash the price in half. But still, $1,100 is very steep, and in addition to that, Samsung's own S10 Plus is hundreds of dollars less. It's just something to think about. With all of this being said, the Galaxy Note 10 Plus is still the best of the best from Samsung and could be considered a candidate for the best phone of the year. What are your thoughts on the Galaxy Note 10 Plus? What are some of its other best and worst features? Let's talk about it down below. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe to the Android Please channel if you are new. I will talk to you guys later, and thank you so much for watching.